Okay, before you see the video that I just filmed, I want to say this. My heart goes out to everyone that is affected by COVID-19, especially the scientists, the doctors, the nurses, the respiratory therapists, the paramedics, the firefighters, the police officers, everybody that's essential. Thank you for all that you are doing to help others. You are our heroes. And to all those that are going through this illness or have lost someone, my heart goes out to you. That is truly, we're going through a historic time, and this is a very difficult time. And I honor you, and I just want you to know that. So we're all in my area, and I think mostly around the world, I think we're all at stay at home. So I made a little video about what I've been doing about staying at home. And it's no disrespect to anybody that's going through any difficult time right now, but for me, this is how I'm experiencing staying at home. And April of 2020, COVID-19 pandemic, locked at home. And check this out, my house. Hello, hello, hello. I guess we're all staying at home. Thanks for visiting at me. Okay, so I hope everyone's doing okay. I know this has been kind of a scary time, watching the news and seeing everybody worried. I suggest, my daughter, I have two daughters. One is 27, and I think when you watch the news all the time, you end up getting very anxious. I don't think any of us have really experienced this in our lifetimes. So when you are ordered to stay at home, or your job, you've been furloughed, or it's closed, grocery stores still open, the essential businesses. Though, tell me why so many people are going to Lowe's or Home Depot here in the U.S., or Walmart for all things. There's a point at staying at home which will help reduce the transmission of the virus, and as many of us as that can stay home, we can help slow this virus down. So I had my first neurology appointment via Zoom. My daughter lives in a different part of Texas, and she was actually able to attend the Zoom meeting, so she got to talk to the neurologist and ask questions. And unfortunately, this pandemic has caused my travel plans to be shortened. My neurologist made a good point with traveling, and it may help later with VR technology. You can go to different places. Excuse the cat above my head. My little Mr. Mojo. Ever since he was had a little illness and had taken to vet over this weekend. Oh my God. So, I've been trying to stay at home and to do the social distancing and to isolate because of other health conditions, including ALS. I'm at higher risk. I had gone through and, doing the cat boxes. That's one of those pet parent things. Had gotten distracted by some messages, and in the process had done a couple of things, washed my hands of course, but had gotten notice that my church, I will never push my religion on anybody. I meditate, and I also attend church, and that's my own personal prerogative. To each their own, to wherever you're called to or not called to. It's who you are and what matters to you. So my church, for the Palm Sunday service, was handing out palm fronds using social distancing. You unroll your passenger window, they put it in, and you drive off. So I thought that was kind of neat. Anyways, came back, and my poor cat, I had gone upstairs to do the upstairs cat litter box, and had come back, and how you want it, we do cat boxes. You don't want to put something in if it's wet. You go outside in the backyard, rinse them out and wash them, and then, rinse them and dry them. But still, you don't want any of that litter to stick. So I had taken care of the top one, came back down to the bottom one, and my little cat, I was assuming it was the cat, and I was glad I was right. There was a little bit of blood in the, like bloody urine in the box, and in the lid of the box there was yellow urine and blood, red. So, called the vet. Of course, my vet, have you ever watched The Vet's Life on Animal Channel? Their rates went up, and there was a 188 number that I could get pet meds for. So no direct answer, and they had it to another various place. So I actually called another local pet clinic, and they triaged my cat over the phone and said that due to COVID-19, they were having limited pet visits. I could go drive into the parking lot, and they would call them to let them know I was there, and they'd call me in. So we waited for that next morning. I tried to get cat litter or cat urine samples. My cats, put plastic over the litter. They tear it up and go underneath to get to the litter. Thankfully, I didn't want to teach them to pee on plastic. That could be a very messy thing. But brought him in, and he had a couple little drips of, I guess he must have gotten scared being in the carrier. So a couple little drops of blood, bloody urine. So they took him in, they did that. He's got bladder stones, and he had a UTI. So got him the medicine, got it scheduled for it. We put him on a special diet, so he's on Hill's Science diet. Expensive, but hey, there's a possibility the stone could go away by changing diet. I mean, I tore myself up. Before the stay-at-home order came, I had deposited a check and then had run to my neighborhood or that area's Walmart and grabbed, I thought it was a great bag of Friskies. I was like, yay, I found it. And then I was like, oh my God, the Friskies killed my cat. Did I give him something poisonous? If you look online, any of the cat foods have, oh my God, this one causes this one. This causes the internet urban myths start. So the vet told me it wasn't anything cleaners I was using for the litter box. It wasn't any of the food. A lot of cats eat Friskies, they're fine. It's just, my cat happened to get that. He's a very shy cat too. So, we'll see. If not, I'm glad I have pet insurance. With recently, retiring and being on Social Security disability. At my previous job, I was very blessed to work for an organization, a hospital system that had good insurance. So I had pet insurance, and thankfully his pet insurance was still active. So I just COBRA'd. COBRA is something we use in the United States if you leave a job, since most of our health insurance is employer based, unless you're on the federal program, Medicare, or qualify for another federal program called Medicaid. I was able to catch him up. They do like 2 to 3 months in the arrears before the system sends them the money. So they'll probably still have some money sent to them, but hey, at least I get $150 back on that, and they pay for half the surgery if he needs it. So yay, score. So during this whole time, right before the stay-at-home order came, we were in the process of looking for a house. With my ALS, my policy had a benefit for death acceleration. So since I have a limited life prognosis, I was able to access some of my life insurance money. So with that, we are closing on a house later this month. Most of it is virtual. Can you believe that? You can buy houses virtually now. We saw 3 houses using social distancing. They were empty, and one of them happened to be the perfect one. Now it's going to be very easy to switch to ADA requirements, which that's the weirdest thing about looking at houses. It's like, oh, will this work? And of course, my neurologist wasn't too happy that it's all ceramic flooring or luxury vinyl tile. He's like, oh, that'll be hurt when you fall. it's like, well, I guess I'll just have to get bubble wrap. So, it's interesting. Did you know bubble wrap was originally made to be wall covering? I wonder how many little kids went pop, pop, pop. So we'll end up, I don't know exactly when we'll move in. I have a younger one that's staying at home. School districts are closed in our area, and I imagine most of the areas, and it's actually happening around the world. So, if they do go to school, our kids are tentatively going back to school March 4th, which they've already sent something out for the seniors. I don't think they're going back to school, but I would hate to change her in the last 3 weeks of school. So, and then it's kind of like, okay, with renting a thing or getting movers, I mean, you have to really think about these things when there's a pandemic going on. So I haven't quite made my mind up for that, but I don't know if you want to stay at home with me while I'm packing. I'm sure I'll make some videos, which is kind of cool. You think about it, I'm so blessed that this has happened. I'm very, very blessed. But, thinking I have always been a busy. I was a, nurse, very dedicated to my profession and job, and besides my other life things. So I have a bunch of half projects around, and now I have time for them. But some of them are like, do I really want to do that? So I'm going to be going through my little put away piles. I imagine I'm going to be donating a lot, but I think this is kind of a cool thing to be able to go through things before I get too ill and I can't do it, and just kind of decide what I want, and bless things to people that may need some of this stuff, or donate. I still have to find a local animal shelter and figure out how I can get that delivered to them. I have a 16-pound bag of Friskies. And of course my cats, both of them, are going to be on the special diet because I can't feed them separately. But we're using Redfin, and I can say that it has been really a good experience. I appreciate that you can do virtual tours with a real estate agent that is doing proper social precautions in taking care of themselves as well. Just a weird time in life, So can't go out and, oh goodness, I wasn't able to go to Europe, and thank goodness I didn't take the cruise trip. I mean, that wouldn't be fun right now. But like the neurologist said, going in and doing the virtual tours, that's a good idea. I mean, if you have somebody that has ALS or is disabled in your life, there are new technologies that they can travel. It's a lot about traveling is not just seeing the sights, it's about sharing the cultures, and it's love, seeing other people. We're all not too much different than each other. We can get snitty and argue with each other and, look at the differences, but if you look at the cracks, what are you going to see? Look up. So have you ever heard of OutSchool? I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, they had a little art class thing. And, not only am I a retired nurse, a PALS, but I'm now a second grade at home teacher. Though my daughter's school system is great. She has a great homeroom teacher too. But they had the different school things, and of course, I guess I was going a little further ahead in teaching her. We are growing little plants. I have a little victory garden in the making planted, which will be fun. I mean, nothing like a homegrown onion, a homegrown tomato, bell pepper, squash. Everything tastes much better. So let's hope everything sprouts. The carrots are sprouting now in my windowsill. So looked up into square foot gardening. So I've had the supplies, but now I do have the time. So we're actually getting to it. I like the heirloom seeds, save the bees. And it's kind of funny. opened a pack that's supposed to be good for this thing, and they had this whole survival stuff. It's like all the preppers. It's really weird when you look at how everyone's dealing with this. You have your preppers, bug in. You have your people that are bored online having arguments. It's just an interesting time to watch. But what I was saying about watching the news all the time, you have to do it I would advise doing it in bits. I watch my local news. I listen to NPR, my updates that way, and PBS and BBC, and some of the national stuff. You can't always look at the saddest and the wretched, otherwise it's going to really get you anxious. So find something that you like. I would meditate, which I'm doing that. I'm probably going to be trying some of the YouTube Tai Chi classes. I'm not going to have you stay at home with me that way. I don't want you to laugh at me if I fall over. But life is good. I find that even the stay at home, my symptoms have been a little bit less. It's probably because I'm not out there trying to push it as much. Mind you, I may be at home, but I'm doing a bunch of different things. I'm not one to stay still. So, had an ALS Association virtual meeting as well, and it was kind of interesting. There are different ways you can write, like the low-tech way of writing. They have the little boogie boards you can get on Amazon for like $12 to $15 that you can erase right afterwards, and you can write if you still have the movement of your hands. They have iPads, and there's different apps that you can get for iPads and Macs, and ones for Androids. There's accessibility through iPhones and through Androids. And then they go through the eye gaze technology. So if you have any questions about that, and if you're an ALS MND patient, I would definitely talk to your speech therapist, or if you don't have a speech therapist, yes, talk to your neurologist or your ALS clinic, and they will work on getting you there. Medicare covers probably 80% of it once you've made it deductible, and there are other programs, state-based or other ALS associations that may help assist to pay for that. So I'm just, it's kind of one of those weird things when you're listening to people. Some people's voices are affected. My voice is not as powerful as it was before. I've had to get a microphone so you can hear me a little bit better. Though other people lose their ability to talk, other people lose their ability for hands. You just never know what ALS is going to do. But so it's good for that. And tomorrow I actually have to drive in. I'm not staying at home that day, but I'm doing my social distancing. I promise you that. I'm going to a wheelchair clinic to get fitted for a power chair. It takes 4 to 6 months to get one, so better to go ahead and get it done in case, ALS is one of those diseases you don't want to be, oh my God, I need it now, because it takes time. So trying to do these things ahead of time is a good idea. But I've had the added fun of trying to, besides the fact of how are we literally going to move during a pandemic and keep everybody safe, but decorating, that have those tile floors that are, my neurologist not approved, but power wheelchair, it won't destroy. Power wheelchairs will destroy carpet, so it's something that won't be destroyed. So I found a couple rugs on, one that was on, what is that, Wayfair, and one that's on Overstock. So I have saved those, and I don't want to cause too many people to have to deliver things, but I'll get those ordered. And so groceries, thank goodness for our essential workers, our grocery people. And my grocery store has been delivering, the little things that don't stay forever. You have a young child, milk, you go through milk. Those little things like that. So got a ham for Easter. Don't tell anybody, but I got the Easter bunny stuff before So the bunny will be coming. Um, do you like, she decorated the wall, made those little flowers. We had the little home art projects. Oh, I was saying, I mentioned the Out School. I had her do the Out School. I'd seen it on Facebook, and it was so cool. So my little one likes to draw, and she was drawing, and there was a class. It was actually a little bit later in the evening for us, but she caught with kids that were from LA, different parts of Northern California, Oregon, two little kids from Hong Kong, and a kid from Australia, and the teacher was in Arizona. So just seeing all of these kids, about age 7, 8, from around the world, they're all on lockdown or quarantine, and seeing the kids see each other, that you could see they just got excited, and they were drawing, and my little one drew, I can't remember the different characters, but my husband knew what they were, but she drew that, and the after school things to save. She has now, with her drawing, has made her own Pokemon card. Too cute. She loved it. It was absolutely wonderful. And the kids, just seeing them share, and no matter what the world is around, those little kids were so more similar than they were different. And to see them have that little spark and understand each other, if there's anything good about the pandemic, it's the connections. Doing things virtually, like being able to see doctors, have classrooms from around the world. That's really, really cool. I was just in awe on it. So this week, in addition to her regular schoolwork, which is online, which is really awesome. I mean, the school district has wonderful things too, but she's having another art class. She's going to learn how to draw 3D dinosaurs, and she's excited about it. Hey, to each person, finding anything that you can that is a skill or something you love, working on that, it helps during the hard times. And, we'll see what she goes. She got excited that the teacher had an art degree, went to college for it, and she's like, oh, I mean, just seeing those little mind connections, so cool. But, yep, so that's what's going on with me. Hopefully we close at the end of this month. Not sure if we'll pay another month for our townhouse, but we'll see how that goes. I'll figure it out if we can do it safely. I don't want anyone to get sick. The more we get out, the more possibility of transmitting and making someone ill. So that's not fun. But, I am feeling so blessed, truly. I hope you guys are doing okay. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. You might see me going through things. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Stay healthy. Bye.